Alright, so in this video, I'm going to go over my thoughts on how I'm going to communicate my thoughts to other people. And hopefully it's insightful for you. If you like the video, comment, subscribe. Thank you, and I will keep improving these videos over time. So I will completely change the way that the visuals are and move and progress. But this whole concept is like number 9, and in this series of trying to get my life at how I have gotten and how I'm trying to get my life to continue to be a perfect blend of happiness and resistance so that I can have a perfect life of bliss. And communication is the most important thing to have with another human being in your life that would be contributing to that happiness and resistance. And the way that you speak is very important, because not only are you speaking out loud to that other human being, but you're speaking out to the universe and you're speaking to your body. So if you are saying something to someone else and you think that it is going to benefit them or something, but yet it's going to hurt your body, maybe you shouldn't say it, or maybe you should say something else before it or after it to your body so that way it doesn't believe it. I know I believe in magic. I believe that you don't just go to sleep, you magically fall asleep. And I believe that if anybody wants to go to sleep, that they can't just do it at will. I mean, you'd fall to the ground. Really? That's pretty interesting. You'd actually have to lay down and you have to, do all the things to basically get your body to magically go to sleep. So with communication, it's kind of the same thing. So whenever you speak the word out loud, magically the other person gets this thought in their head. And we know over time, and we grow up and we start to learn that if I say something a certain way, a certain person will hear it a certain way and understand it a certain way. So I need to make sure that when I'm talking, I speak at a certain pace, I speak with a certain tone, and I watch what mannerisms I do in between there. So obviously I'm not a perfect being. Like right now, I have to mess with my mouth, I have to mess with my throat and all this other stuff. And it's very distracting and difficult for the thought to come through. But I figure, let me just make these videos and at least get them through, and then eventually I'll be able to iron out the thought over and over again. So I'm communicating a lot of things. I'm communicating my preferences by my choice of any kind of brand or item that I have here on the screen. So anything that I do and anything that I say, how I breathe, is all communicating something. And the way that I stand has a lot of indication as to the confidence. So me, myself, I have a problem about this because I'm in my head a lot. I'm in that first stage of thought where I'm just constantly in my head trying to think of how am I going to communicate this, and it's like every thought, and then it's like every time I'm like, well, I can't do it. It's like my shoulder blades want to just come in and touch each other because I'm just like so bared down with the thought process, and I don't realize that I need to kind of get out, And the problem, you get out and stretch your shirt out and kind of like get some peacock in your chest, get a little bit of out, and then they'll be like, oh wow, he's a little enthusiastic on this one, he's a little bit more of this or that, and it'll kind of drive the point, it'll kind of cause them to kind of get little out of a state of confusion, a little bit more in a state of full consciousness. So if they're able to get into a state of full consciousness, they're able to fully understand and hear you and listen, and then decide for themselves. And then if you're able to get them in like this flow state, then they're able to almost kind of like hypnotize them a little bit or something. So the idea is that if you're able to magically control your environment with this second stage of thought, which, like I said before, there are 4 stages of thought: what you're thinking, how you decide to say it, how the universe and how they actually hear it, like how that person actually hears it, and then what they in their head decide to do with that thought. So this is dealing with how you're going to say it, because like in the last video I told you about what you can think about to contribute to your thought getting from you into the next person. This stage is going to think about just how you can say things. So how does your voice work? Do you have an accent? Does this particular person hear or understand that accent? Have you taken time to practice this other accent that this other person could hear and understand you better? So if you have a job or you have a video that you want to do, so like for me, maybe I should learn how to do Spanish, and then if I learn how to do Spanish, maybe I should learn how to do it in a specific accent that would help a specific person or genre of people, and then do it in multiple versions of that way. And then maybe I'm doing something that would be an entry level for someone, so then maybe I'm speaking in too big of words or too small of words or something like that, to where it wouldn't go, like even if the next stage where they heard it perfectly, but they still may not even understand what it is because what you said. So the way that you pronounce the word is a big deal. So even if you're thinking about the word and then you say the word, but then you don't pronounce the word correctly, that's a big deal. Everything that you do, every breath, every situation that you do in life is going to benefit your goals, and it's going to benefit your vision that you want to do, and it's going to either benefit in a positive way or a negative way. And speaking is just in general, it's like a magic spell. You can like speak things into existence just because you spoke them. So like you could literally speak over and over again to your body something, and over again to the universe something, and then you can even speak things to other people over and over again while they're sleeping or while they're this or while they're that, and it will cause them to know it or remember it. Or when you really think about like your thought process and how you're moving along in thoughts over and over again over a period of time, they start to progress and they start to grow. Well, if you're able to understand that you can speak things, and it'll cause you to remind you to this, your organs in your body and your brain that you don't have full conscious control over right now is able to hear it, able to understand it, and able to move back towards that central point that you want to keep pointing towards. So maybe you write out things that you want to say, and then you say them out loud. And then as well as you do that to other people as well, like, I love you, right? That's the biggest one. So I have this strong love and desire for my wife. So if I want to communicate that to her and I just keep saying, I love you, and I love you, it would be a huge reminder. It would be a big necessity. In my head, it feels like it's like a robot. So I try to say it in different ways, and I try to say it at different times, and I try to add really in there, or add, like whatever, her name at the end, and silly little whatever. But the thing is that how many times you say something and how many times somebody hears something can change the reality of what you're saying. So sometimes if you want to say something that you really mean, maybe you say it multiple times, and then they're like, well, I mean, you keep mentioning that, so maybe that's the case. And then the other point would be saying things, maybe like one part of it, one word of it twice. Maybe even you pretend that you flipped on a word, or you accidentally said another word, so that you can get them to think something else and as well. So like I've also tried to say something, but then you add one extra word in there, and it kind of brightens it up and makes them think of a joke. And then you say something else. So it may be just a pun or a play on a word that you just said, or it's like makes it a tagline off of a video or a movie that somebody saw that they thought of, and it's just playful and fun. So then it may bring their consciousness, like I said, back up into that other state where it's going to be helpful to you, and then you'll actually be able to, they'll be able to understand and hear what it is that you want them to say, and then you'll be able to get back to that perfect line of happiness and bliss, and it'll get you to your goals and your vision, and then you'll be able to be your true calling, do your true self. And as long as you're not like manipulating other people, and you're not causing your will to be done on these other people, I think that any line of communication in any other kind of way, like, trying it out, testing it is probably worth it. But just keep in mind that at a certain point in time, everything that you speak is like a spell. That's why they call it spelling. But thank you very much for watching these videos. Keep your bell notification on for the next one, and I'm going to keep on working on them better and better. But I'm just going to try to get all these thoughts out first, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you hate. And, yep, have a good night. Thank you.